What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, and we are back to check out Grid Legends on the Oculus Quest 2. Shout out to my good friend Gamertag VR who sent me a key to this game as he wanted to get the perspective from someone who's a hardcore sim racer. So it is my pleasure to take a look at this game and give my thoughts on it. So in starting, this game has taken a lot of heat, and we all know why. And so, when I do this hands on impression of this game, I want to do it from the standpoint of somebody who's a hardcore sim racer and has a lot of other sim racing titles at my disposal. So, I have to look at it from that standpoint. Um, but I also want to give the perspective of someone who's never played the game before on an Oculus Quest and maybe see where they might like or dislike the game. So this is a loosely scripted hands-on impression with minimal editing, so you could find me hesitating at times to find words to describe a certain part of the game. So with that, let's jump into the game and I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay, let's start with the elephant in the room, and probably the biggest reason why this game is taking a lot of heat, and that is the graphics. It's PS1 level graphics. Uh, for some people, this is a deal breaker. I'm guessing that the developers probably had to strip down the assets until they could get this to run at a good frame rate. I can tell you from VR sim racing on PC, it is very demanding. Even with the powerful PCs that I have, every depending on the game, I still have to turn down some of the graphic settings, turn them down from ultra to high, what have you. So I understand how demanding that is, and some people feel that with the graphics of this game, some people feel it was a cash grab. Some people feel like it was a lazy port from the developers. I'm pretty much giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I truly think that they probably had to keep stripping down assets until they got this game to run smoothly. And me myself, I'm okay with the graphics. Um, the problem that I have is looking inside the headset. This video loop that you're looking at right here actually looks better than what you see inside the headset. Inside the headset, it's pixelated. Um, Inside the headset, it's like driving, it's like playing Drive Club all over again. Um, so I guess that being said, if they, I'm hoping maybe in the future they'll put out a patch. They'll maybe clean up the pixelation so much. If you look at this video loop right here, I had to turn on the assist line to be able to see where corners were, and that's that's probably the biggest stickler I've got with the graphics is that it's so pixelated that I have to turn on the assist line to see where I'm going. But other than that, I'm okay with it.
Next is the campaign. In short, the story is about a young man who I believe quit his job and found backers and sponsors to start a racing team. And you play the part of the rookie prospect. Uh, the campaign has a Fast and Furious vibe to it, which I'm okay with that. And EA, I would probably say over the past 10 years, have added, I think, over the top dramatic stories to their sports franchises, and that's cool. It's more content, so I think that's a good thing. It's more content for the game, and I don't know if I'll finish the campaign because when it comes to racing games, I'm more or less about trying to acquire safety rating and all the other necessary stats to get to the upper tier of racers. So, but if you like campaigns, I think you'll like this. All right, next up, I'm going to cover the campaign, the physics, and the performance all in one. Starting with performance, this game runs excellent, and I think that goes back to what I was saying about Codemasters stripping down the assets as much as possible until they got a smooth frame rate, because I think performance is something that Oculus, Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to call them these days, is something that they put emphasis on. I'm sorry. So the game runs excellent. The physics. The physics, I think, are about, I would put the physics on a level of maybe GT7. So I think the physics are pretty good. I think it's close enough to a sim, but maybe a little slightly bit arcadey, so so the average person could jump in and be able to race. The gameplay, it's what you would expect when you look at the gameplay menu. As you see in this video loop, I do have the assist line on. It also has the other necessary sliders, if you will, for cosmetic damage, full damage, or even terminal damage. And so the game is it looks like, other than the graphics, everything that you would find in the console or the PC version is there in terms of the gameplay and menu selection. So that's another plus there. Next up are the controls. So the controls basically use an Xbox controller type of input. So with the left controller, you use the thumbstick. Left thumbsticks to steer. Use the grip button to brake. Right controller for throttle and other options. I'm fine with this. Whereas some people wanted motion type controllers where you hold your hands in a steering wheel position and actually steer the car with a steering motion. I think it would have been good to add that, to give the players an option whether to use an Xbox style controller or to use motion style controls or even hand tracking. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if they could have made hand tracking work, that would have been nice too. Myself, I prefer the Xbox style controllers, so I can make sure that every input will be, basically I know that every command, I will see it up screen, whereas holding my hands in the steering wheel position, if my hand wanders off too far or too far in, if they simply get out of position, then the controls might not respond. So that's the word that I'm looking for. I want to make sure there's a response for every input that I make on the controllers. But it would have been nice if they could have added hand tracking, or just even using these controllers in a motion style, in a 6-off style. So that would have been nice. But again, that's something else that I'm okay with. But I also understand people who wanted the other types of controls as well. So okay, so now we've got online in lobbies. When I first went into a lobby, I actually thought this game might have been crossplay, because I saw icons that resembled a computer monitor and a computer tower. So it led me to believe that this game was crossplay, but I did look it up to be certain, and no, this game is not crossplay. This particular session that I ran when I recorded this footage, There's two, four, six. I think it was about 7 people in here. And yesterday, I did another online session, but there was only 3 people in there. So I'm led to believe that the user base is probably all over the place as far as online goes. But I still had fun with the online part of it. I even ran into a dirty racer who knocked me into the wall, and I actually laughed at that. But I do think that crossplay wouldn't hurt. I don't know if they can make it happen, but I think they should, because I have to be honest in saying that, uh, given the heat that this game has taken because of the bad graphics, I don't know about if the online can survive, because these days when it comes to video games, especially games as a service, if the player base isn't there, they'll shut the servers down. Uh, so I just don't know how long they would keep servers up with a sporadic user base. So uh, crossplay, in my opinion, would definitely keep this game alive on Quest. So let's just hope that it never. I just hope that it doesn't come to that where they end up shut the servers down 6 months later, a year later, um, because I did have fun with the online as well. Next up, we've got the audio. Uh, the audio was excellent. Now, with the Oculus Quest, the built-in audio is okay at best. Nonetheless, the game still sounded pretty good through the Oculus Quest, but I took it a step further and wore earbuds, and the engine sounds were incredible, and I think they did a fairly good job of capturing accurate engine sounds. As in one session, I used the Porsche 911 GT3R, and it sounded pretty similar to the 911 that I've used in other racing sims. So I think they did an excellent job with the audio. And and this brings us to content. I think this is where the game shines. It has a ton of content. You've already got the campaign, and then um, I'm not sure how many tracks it has. With most racing sims, to start off with, you would probably get a minimum of 10 to 15 tracks. Um, but with this, in addition to the tracks, I think you have about 9 car classes, and each car class, I believe, has anywhere from 10 to 20 cars. This particular class that you're seeing right here is the GT class, and this class alone had 20 cars in it, including 2 of my favorites, the iconic Mazda 787B and the Ford GT GTE. Um, there's several other cars that I'm definitely interested in this game, and that alone is going to make me put time into this game so I can unlock those cars, because the Mazda 787B is one of my favorite cars of all time, and I want to get that car unlocked. Okay, so the final verdict. I'll give you a couple of different perspectives. The first one being my own. As a person who has 3 high-powered PCs, 4090, a 3080 Ti, and a 3070 Ti, that's like me owning 3 supercars: a Ferrari, Lamborghini, a Bugatti, and Grid Legends on the Quest. In terms of the visuals, would be a Kia. So I think it would be unrealistic for me to expect visuals anywhere near what I'm getting on PC. Would I recommend this game to you? That all depends on if you can get past the PS1 level graphics. More so than the graphics, the pixelation. I think the pixelation is the biggest fault with this game. I can get past the PS1 graphics. I actually don't have a problem with it. And when you even look at this footage, the lighting isn't even bad. So it's just the pixelation is the problem that I have with this game. Um, if you can't get past the graphics, then no, I wouldn't recommend it to you. But I think you're getting a ton of content. And is it worth, I believe it's $25. I guess that all depends on how you feel about the graphics. If you can get past the graphics, then yes, it's absolutely worth the money. But you can't, if you can't get past the graphics, then you may not find it worth the money because you may not be able, you may not want to put in the time with this game because because you don't like the graphics. The scenarios where I would find myself playing this game, because I have 3 PCs, originally I felt like the only circumstances where I would play this game is if I'm going somewhere and I take the headset with me, or if I'm on a trip for a couple of days, I would definitely want to take it with me under those kind of conditions. But after digging into the game a little bit and seeing how much content was there, namely how many cars is there, I want to put some time into this game because I want to unlock a couple of those cars. The sounds were pretty good. The online, even though it's sporadic, it's still there. So I do plan to put time into this game. And so that being said, I would buy it. And to prove that I would buy it, shout out to my good friend Gamertag, who sent me a key to this game. To put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to pay it forward, and I'm going to give away a copy of this game on one of my upcoming streams. So stay tuned. I'll keep you guys informed. When it comes to meta, it's not a situation of you just give somebody a code. You have to get that person's email and purchase it for them, and then Oculus or Meta will send that person a code through their email. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys in the loop when I plan to do the giveaway. And once again, shout out to my good friend Gamertag, who sent me a key to this game for review because he wanted the perspective of someone who's a hardcore VR sim racer. Also, congratulations to my good friend Gamertag, who just received a PSVR 2 from Sony. You earned it, my friend. I mean, I'm so happy for you, but at the same time, I'm so jealous because it's going to make my wait so much more agonizing, waiting to get my headset. But once again, my friend, congratulations. I can't wait until, if you're under any kind of embargo, I can't wait for that to get lifted and you give us some content leading up to the release of PSVR 2. With that, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video of my thoughts of Grid Legends on the Oculus Quest 2. For the most part, I'm good with the game, and you are getting a full AAA game on the Oculus Quest, and hopefully they will optimize this game a little bit better and at least get rid of the pixelation. I'm hoping, because I really would like to put more and more time. No, not I would. I will. I will put more time into this game. I just can't say how much because of how many other games I've got, especially with sim racing. Sim racing is never ending when you're trying to be the fastest. It's just constant practice, constant practice. But I will definitely put time into this game, and it's a different pace from what I'm used to. So I can play this game from the standpoint of having fun and not be under pressure of high lap times. So with that, we'll see you on the next one. And until then, thanks again for watching. And you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. We'll see you soon, everybody.